Hello friends, today I'm going to make a quick 10-minute dinner. Some nice swordfish today. I'm not someone that really gets involved in meal prep. I find it too cumbersome putting together the same meal, piles of it, the same thing. Doesn't excite my palate on a day-to-day basis. So what I like to do is create some staples for the week, like rice, maybe more than one type of rice, and then include some freshly cooked food throughout the week. So what I might do is I might cook a whole chicken, stew the dark meat to eat with some rice, roast the breast, have that in salads for lunch and so on. And then with the rice that I've cooked earlier on in the week, I will then cook some other meats or fish that's really easy and quick to cook and use some of the rice just to simplify my day-to-day cooking for my household. So I'm going to start today. I'm going to do some swordfish. I love swordfish. It's really easy to cook, although you can't overcook it. If you overcook it, it dries out and it tastes terrible. It tastes like cardboard. But if you just cook it just right, you have a wonderful meal in minutes. So let's go. So I have some here. I bought, it's my trusty knife. Why is that here? And how much is it? What have I got here? I think there's like a pound, just over a pound of swordfish. There should be 2 swordfish steaks. So we have 2 swordfish steaks. About half an inch thick, do you think? About half an inch thick. This one's a little thinner, so this will be my piece. And this will be the wonderful man in my life. That will be his piece. You'll enjoy that. I'm going to rinse this fish just a little. To get off the whatever was on it. We don't know where it's been, do we? I like to rinse off my food before I cook it. It's a thing I do. And if you know me by now, if you've been here before, you know I'm gonna use some paper towel and get rid of the excess water so that the any seasoning I add to it is going to adhere to the fish and not just slide right off. So, I know it's a bit of a waste for paper towels, but it's how I get through my day. It's what I do. Dry off my meat and fish with paper towel. Just put that here for now. I don't have my seasonings out. Let me get my seasonings. Hold on. I have here some of my Diverse Dinners Caribbean curry seasoning. Now I'm not making, it's not a curried fish, but this Caribbean curry seasoning will just apply some of that Caribbean flavor to my dish, to this fish. So it's not to make it taste curried, it will give it a tiny kick and it will give it lots of flavor, and that's the only reason, that's the reason for using this, not to make it like spicy and that strong kind of curry taste. Some onion, we're going to dice it. We're going to slice some onion, dice it, slice it. I'm not sure. Some lemon. We're going to use the zest and the juice. I have a couple of what do you call these? Garlic. What do you call these? Cloves of garlic. Some fresh thyme. I prefer to use fresh herbs whenever I have it, and thyme is lovely. Seeing as thyme is a widely used herb in the Caribbean, seeing as I'm using Caribbean seasoning, I thought that makes sense to keep those flavors going together. And then we have some salt and pepper. This is my lovely salt and pepper containers that I usually on the table. They are lovely. It's made of marble. It's very sturdy. If you're looking for a salt and pepper containers to have on your kitchen tabletop, I could recommend these. It's really nice. I'll put the link down below in the description box. So what I'm going to do is apply some salt, add some salt and pepper to the fish, then brown the fish, then I'm going to apply these seasonings afterwards. Even though I have these, I get the measurement wrong sometimes, so bear with me. I think I'm going to need about half a teaspoon, and it says half a teaspoon of salt, using my measures. Even though these come with the lovely spoons, I just want to make sure I give you the right measurement. This is kosher salt, and I'm going to just sprinkle half a teaspoon over both sides, and then a quarter teaspoon, or should I do an eighth? I'm going to do an eighth 1/8 of a teaspoon of ground black pepper. Just lightly. It doesn't have to be too much. It can be even a bit less if you're not really that much into pepper. Here we go. Let's give this some colour. I'm going to go over there. Heat 1 to 2 tablespoons of olive oil in the pan. Once the oil is hot, carefully place the 2 swordfish steaks into the pan. You'll need a relatively high heat so that the fish sizzles as soon as it is added to the pan. You only want to brown the fish, so take a look at it and see how it's doing. This clearly needs to brown a bit more, so I'm turning it back over. I let it cook for just a little longer, and now this is good. This is brown enough. The other side should be nicely browned too, so I'm going to lift that up, turn it over, somewhat successfully, or unsuccessfully. I often have to redistribute oil in my pan. My stove is tilted backwards. I've got to get that fixed. Once the fish is brown, you can remove it from the pan, and then add half a cup of onions to the oil in the pan and saute it until the flavours release and slightly browning on the edges. I'm adding some better than bouillon vegetable stock. It's salted, so I won't be adding any salt to this dish. I'm adding a cup of hot water to dissolve the better than bouillon. And mix that thoroughly. Now I'm adding another cup of water because the better than bouillon is very concentrated. Add a couple of sprigs of thyme and about 1 teaspoon of lemon zest. This microplane is so old, I should just throw it out. Oh, much better. A microplane that actually can do some work. Grate a couple of garlic cloves into the stock mixture. Now I'm adding my special ingredient, half a teaspoon of Diverse Dinners Caribbean seasoning. It's really nice spice blend that gives good Caribbean flavour. There's a link in the description box if you're interested in buying some. Add a teaspoon of lemon juice, just to have that zing. It's wise to keep your sauce a taste, just to make sure you understand how the flavours are melding together. And I think I decided to add 1 tablespoon of tomato puree. You'll notice that it's rock hard, and that's simply because it was in the freezer. Once I open a can of tomato puree, I portion it out and freeze it and put it in the freezer. I'm adding another cup of hot water to the sauce, and then I add the swordfish. Just pouring some of the juices, some of the sauce over the fish, and allowing the fish flavors to then also combine into the sauce, including that tomato puree. Time to cover the fish, let it sit, let that tomato puree melt. The dish is really coming together now. The tomato puree is melted. Just going to make sure all the flavors are mixed together. Pour some more of the sauce over the fish. Make sure that fish flavor is also going into the sauce. Time to taste test. Delicious. I lowered the heat to a simmer just to finish off the dish. The sauce is a little thin and I want it to cling to whatever I serve it with. So I'm going to dissolve half a teaspoon of cornstarch into the sauce. the simplest way to do this is to spoon a few tablespoons of the sauce onto the cornstarch and mix. You want the consistency to be so that it's easy to pour into the sauce. Then you carefully mix the sauce around, push the sauce around so that the cornstarch can start to cook in the sauce and it will thicken immediately. And here it is, 2 large swordfish steaks full of juicy flavor from the Caribbean, ready to eat. So this is jasmine and basmati mixed together, cooked in some vegetable better than bouillon, which has salt in it, so I don't add any salt, and some butter, and my most favorite herb, some thyme. I just put a couple of sprigs in there just to give it some flavor. Cook my rice on a Sunday. Usually cook it on a Sunday. We have some that Sunday, and then I portion it out into containers, put them in the freezer, and we use it throughout the week. Sometimes I'll do vegetable rice with this rice. I do all sorts of things with it. And sometimes, if it's a dish like this, just the plain rice. This is